Hello everybody, Happy New Year. This is Bethany out at the Savannah Parent University Community Garden here at 701 US Highway 80 at the Old Farmers Market in Savannah Garden City area. Welcome to a new year. Welcome back to the garden. There are wonderful things going on. As you can see behind me, our broccoli is growing beautifully and our cabbage. And our winter crops, these few that we have out here, doing really well. We've got onions growing. We've got garlic, turmeric, and ginger growing out here in the garden, and we are only missing one thing, and that's you, Parent University family. We want you to come on out here and join us because we're going to be planting in a number of these beds that we have out here, getting ready to get the soil prepared for our spring crops that we're going to be growing, and we're just looking for you to come on out here and help us do some good stuff. We harvested sweet potatoes this year, lots of sweet potatoes, and okra. We had peas, crowder peas, and other kinds of peas that we harvested. Had some summer greens that we harvested, and then herbs like rosemary, spearmint, peppermint, and basil. Our bell peppers did really great. And guess what? You all can have all of this from your own hands. Come on out here to the Savannah Parent University Community Garden. Put your hands in the dirt. Let's play in the dirt. Let's grow some food. Let's feel good and let's do well. Thank you.
Hi everyone. We're here today at Wanda Palmer's house. Wanda?
Hi everyone.
And this is her home garden, and she has graciously allowed us to have a class. We wish we could do one with everyone here, but we're going to try it virtually. And those of you that know Wanda know that she used to only grow these right here. These are her lovely metal flowers. And she started gardening. She swore she had a brown thumb, couldn't do it. And this is now all of what Wanda has done in her home garden right there.
What we have growing are some cabbages, and we have some mustard greens, and also some kale.
And so, Wanda, are you able to already harvest from your porch garden?
I am harvesting my kale today to cook for New Year's Eve dinner.
So, see, it doesn't have to be full size. She can cut some of the outer leaves, and then it'll continue to grow like she's done with her lettuce here. That's been cut and come again. So what our goal is today is to get everybody to understand that you can grow. You can grow in a can. You can grow, this is a pallet we're about to grow in. Wanda's got buckets up there. She does have some fancier raised beds now, but you can grow in anything. And in this climate in Savannah, you can grow year-round. So that's the best part of it, is that you can grow all the time. Matter of fact, we're right on the eve, New Year's Eve, and we're gonna start seeds today. So we don't have a down season, and it's a perfect time in Savannah to grow. So today, Wanda has selected early Alaska peas, which is a green pea that she's going to plant. So she's got her marker prepared, because it's very important that you label what you planted and the date you planted, so you can monitor if the seeds come up, if they don't. Sometimes, for a lot of reasons, seeds just don't germinate. And if you give them their 7 to 14 days and they don't germinate, maybe you want to try again. So go ahead, let's label it. Yay! Okay, and grab the seeds over there. Okay, she's got them in her hand. So this is what a pea seed looks like. And you never want to plant them too deep, okay? You only want to go as deep as the seed, all right? The thickness of the seed. So, well, I have one now. So what you're gonna do is just take your finger and just put a little divot in there, just about as thick as the seed is, and gently cover with soil. And you're gonna spread them out. I like to use my fingers, so you want some space between them. So I usually do a little trick like this, going ahead and making the holes like that, and you're ready to go. And these peas will come up. Sometimes it takes more than 2 weeks to do it. just depending on wet and everything else. So, and we're gonna take these around the edges because they're gonna sprawl out. So I'm gonna do it one more time, then I'm gonna let you do it, Wanda. There we go. There you go. I will tell you, better too shallow than too deep. So, you know, seeds, don't overthink Mother Nature. Seeds normally just fall on the ground and they sprout from there. So, watch, don't get too deep. There you go. Not too deep. There we are. So we took those on the outer edges because we want them, they're gonna vine a little bit and they can climb over the side and not get in the way of the other things. Now the next thing we're gonna grow or plant the seeds of are radishes. And you'll start to see seeds come in all shapes and sizes. Can you get it? And these are gonna be brown but tinier. Radishes sprout super quick. They are ready really fast. I'll give you a quote on this one, how it's it only takes 25 days to maturity, which is really quick. So you can plant your radishes in between things that take longer and harvest them before the other things are ready. So yeah, you can come in here and then see how small that is. So you're barely gonna make an indentation. Matter of fact, you could put the seed on top and just push it in with your finger.
One seed?
One seed. One seed. And you can put them fairly close, because a little closer, because if they get, you know, there you go. If some of them don't germinate, or if you get them too close, you can always pull some out as they're growing. And the seed has inside of it everything it needs to grow. It does not need any fertilizer right now. We are growing in composted mushroom manure and topsoil mixture that we got from Ace Hardware. It's like $1.99 and $2.99 a bag. It's very inexpensive. It's got everything it needs, and you do not want to fertilize in this stage. You want to keep the soil moist, but don't fertilize. Okay, Miss Palmer, now, next I would recommend that we try some lettuce. Let's try. Wanda says lettuce doesn't grow for her.
That's not like me.
But we're gonna try again. We're gonna try again. We're gonna see what we can do. This lettuce is again what we call a cut and come again. It's only going to get about so big, and you're gonna go ahead and harvest it for your salads. You are not growing a giant iceberg lettuce head like you see in the grocery store. You're growing smaller lettuce, and so you can harvest them fairly quickly.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Like
so because you're not trying to form a big head, you can actually just run a very small line down here with your finger and just sprinkle it all around. You're not going to make an individual hole, because if they're too crowded, you're just going to pull it up and eat it. So you don't have to worry about your spacing on this type of lettuce. And this one, Lunix lettuce, is a red lettuce. It's very high, it's high in lycopene and other good nutrients. It's much healthier than your iceberg type lettuce. All right, so we are going to try red rhubarb. Let's try that. And you can eat it raw. You can substitute it like a spinach. Those are bigger.
Oh.
Yeah, so. Yeah, they're bigger. They're actually clumps of seeds, but they're bigger. That's the way they do them. So we know right here, we already got pea there, so we got to come up to about here, right?
We didn't put the pea.
All right, let me give him a little more room because this is gonna be a bigger plant. I don't know why he's being stubborn, but there we go. Okay, so there's the red rhubarb. There you go, yep, just never too deep. And a lot of times when you're planting and you're putting your information on these tags, you may want to put the name of the seed company you got it from so you can remember different seeds work better in different gardens and different climates. So you may find one that works really well and you want to order that again or save. In this case, you can save the seeds, but then you may find some that don't work well at all that you don't want to purchase again. So, and if you got a big stick, yeah, just throw out. What she did there was she found a stick, which you will find in this type of mulch, you know, a bigger chunk, just throw it out, doesn't hurt anything. Okay, now Wanda, I'll give you your choice. You want a spinach now? Do you?
Yes.
Okay. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll have 5 different things planted in this one little pallet right here. When you look at these seeds, I'll go ahead and dump these out. So these are what they call pelletized. It's just something they do with the spinach seeds to make them more disease resistant. There's actually multiple seeds inside of here. So a lot of times your spinach has to be separated when it comes up, but again, that's okay because you can eat those fresh baby sprouts that come up. Perfectly edible. All right, there you go. And there's more when you run out. And again, do not plant too deep. That's not a very big seed, so you're gonna wanna just barely put it in that soil. Better shallow than deep. And as it grows, as soon as it makes its first true leaves, it's ready to go ahead and harvest. And as long as you don't harvest all the leaves, it will continue to grow. So again, it's what we call cut and come again, which is how her entire garden is set up that way. So even though her cabbage isn't fully formed yet, she can still come out here and harvest cabbage leaves. And Wanda does a lot with smoothies and stuff like that. So she puts a lot of her leaves directly in her smoothies. Oh, now I gave you too many. You needed like one.
You got one.
All right, good deal.
All right.
So the name of our class is You Can Grow. We're trying to show you that you can grow in anything, okay? You don't have to have a special pot or a special raised bed or anything. You can grow in cans. You can grow in big cans. You can grow in little cans. That happens to be kale growing that I just started. So if you have a can of beans, soup can, whatever, you take off the label, clean it out. You're gonna punch holes in it. It's got to have some drainage holes right there. And these are wrapped in paper because I use these with children, and wrapping the paper over them was just preventing in case there were any sharp edges. So this can has holes punched in it, and it's got the protection for kids and adults don't hurt themselves. So Wanda, here's your can, here's your soil. Gotta have soil, gotta have something to grow in, and you gotta have soil. Gator, your can and your soil. You want me to hold your marker? So dump the soil in the can, and it's the same soil we used there. There's no difference, nothing fancy or special. Believe it or not, plants are really pretty simple. They just make people think they're complicated. Okay, so today Wanda is choosing to grow dinosaur kale. That's her seeds. And Gator Rivers is doing Ragged Jack kale.
Raggedy Jack.
So I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna
Write that on there.
I'm gonna write that on there. Ragged Jack kale. All you're gonna do with this is just sprinkle these seeds on the top of that soil.
How many? A few?
Just a few. Just a few. And remember, if the babies come up and they're too crowded, you can just pull them out and eat them. And then I guess you can just let me know how this goes at your house.
I most certainly will.
So these are my little kale plants right there. They're growing in a can. And I have some mustard in pots. I have some aloe growing in a can. So you can grow herbs, all kind of things, anything that doesn't have a big root system. So this time of year, all of your greens, lettuce, kale, mustard, turnip even, you can if you don't mind the turnip not getting really big and you're just looking for the green part of it. Anything like that you can grow in a small container. So one of the things we want to stress, one is that we want you to know that you can grow your own food. It gives, even if you can't supply everything for your family, it gives you a wonderful sense of security that you can actually grow your own food. What we want to teach you is it doesn't have to be that expensive. So I am very honored today to have our incoming county commissioner for this area, Larry Gator Rivers, and he's going to help show how we can build a garden with a free pallet. There are lots of businesses that have pallets that they will give away for free. You have to ask, but so this actually was on a delivery of concrete that came to my house. That's where this came from. So that's what Wanda's growing in over there, and today we just want to show you how you can build one of your own. All right, so we have landscape fabric available at all of your hardware stores, big box stores. Should always carry it. So we're going to take it over all the ends. It's going to wrap to these edges right here. Just roll it out. And then you start tacking it. So you can, wait a minute, whoa. Let's get it. So it's, yeah, you were right, because we're going to fold over that edge. Okay, so just start tacking it. It does not have to be perfect, unless that's what you want. But you can just tack these edges. Okay, come around here on these. Okay. Stand it up this way and get this edge. Fold this in, come around there. Okay. Let's just go ahead and overlap it. It's easier than cutting it. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So now we're going to start filling it with a combination of topsoil and composted manure. So this is actually more nutrient dense. This kind of acts as a filler. You can combine the two together. Here, you want one?
You put it on top, just pour it on top.
Yeah, and we can squish it down through. I wanted to show y'all don't need to go buy expensive compost or soil that has fertilizers and all that in it. You really don't want to do that. This grows just as well, if not better. Doesn't have as many chemicals, and it's a whole lot cheaper. So the bags of composted manure are $2.99. The bags of topsoil are only $1.99.
Seeds in between the...
Right, so you can put the seeds in between there. It kind of acts as a natural divider for it. Works out pretty good. Of course, not all pallets have this many slats. They're all different. Like hers was completely different looking than this one. But yeah.
Can you explain to us what we're going to plant and where we're going to plant it?
So treat it just like a row. It's a defined row, and it'll give you a lot of space between your plants. So maybe some of your bigger things. So you could consider a broccoli or Brussels sprouts, you know, because you're going to have a lot of space automatically in between your rows. But you can grow anything. You could grow lettuce. Any of those same things we just talked about, you can grow. Okay, so what we want to show today is how to harvest your kale. This happens to be a curly kale, and she's just taking the outer leaves. She's going to always leave that center part in there so the plant keeps growing, but she's going to remove the outer leaves. Okay, and as long as she leaves me some babies in there, it's all going to be good. And so that will come back again. And she will do that across these plants. And if you wonder what my hand is doing, I'm shoring up that plant right there. And she'll come all the way around and harvest those. Now you can cut them if you want. She's using her fingers, which is working fine for her. Some people prefer to cut them. And that's your collard right there, right?
That's a cabbage.
That's a cabbage, see? I don't even know. So she actually was going to pull this harvest yesterday, but we waited so that we could make sure that y'all could see that. How long have you had these plants in here, Wanda?
October 15th.
October 15th, okay. So now we're at the end of December and she's already pulling a harvest, and she could have already pulled one before now as well. As soon as they get multiple leaves on there, you can start harvesting them. And this plant will grow all winter long. It does not mind a frost. As a matter of fact, it prefers cold weather. The colder it gets, the sweeter it gets. The same as a cabbage and collards. There's an old saying about you never harvest a collard until after you've had a frost. So when it's gotten cold already these last few weeks, she's left these out here uncovered because they will not, unless it gets really, really close to like a, you know, single digits or 10 degrees, these are going to do fine. Now some of her other, like her lettuces, they're tender, they're more tender, and they do need to be brought in if it starts getting to freezing. Or covered up. You can cover them up too. But these actually absolutely love the cold weather. This will probably be better than any of the kale you harvested last year, Wanda, because we've already had a cold snap. I'm gonna guess on that one, but the same
I'll let
is
you know tomorrow.
yeah, the same is true with your root crops. Sweet potatoes don't release their sugars until after it gets a cold snap. Same is true for carrots, radishes. They just have to have that cold is what releases the sugars in them, which makes them taste a lot better.
It's delicious. It has some.
I knew you were going to try it. I have never taken you to a garden that you haven't sampled.
That's it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay. So as you can see, we're live on the east side at Wanda Palmer's house, and which is in Savannah. I know we now have students from different areas of the country that may be tuning in. So this is in Savannah where we can grow year-round. This is actually our best time of year to grow. And you can see the Wanda grows in a variety of containers. These are the fanciest, but she didn't start with these. She started in pots and various things, and now we've gotten her pallet converted into a new bed, and we just showed you how to build a pallet. And again, this is very low cost, and if you can have some patience and learn to grow from seeds. Seeds are very inexpensive, and you can start saving your own seeds, and so that you don't have to buy them every year, and you can sustain your own garden that way. So we want you to learn how to grow your own food and feel empowered to grow your own food. And we look forward to seeing you at our next location to be revealed at another time. But we're going to go garden to garden just to show you all over Savannah and Chatham County what people are growing and how they do it so that we can help you grow your own garden.